Welcome everyone and welcome to All in All United. Nico and Reem on the inside. Um, how to play it by Nico boy? I don't want to make it sound as though it's our grips or nothing, right? It was a game that could have given us a trophy, but at the end of the day, it has no bearings or it was not season defining game. That FA Cup trophy now going to see whether we have an automatic berth in the Champions League next season. It's a guarantee, top four. You know what I'm saying? It is a trophy, and that is all it was given us. But at the end of the day, the bread and butter of why we competing is really for the Premiership, and we still have a bonus of the Europa League. So all is not lost. That is just my opinion. We would have liked to win the FA Cup. We went into it with the intention to win. I looked at the game and was thinking about a final against Arsenal. But it wasn't to be. Let me get into the mix now. What's the general thoughts on the game, right?
Good night, everyone out there. Again, as Reem said, yes, a victory would have been a good victory. I mean, a chance to beat up Arsenal in the final. You know, I think that the part I miss the most. Losing against Chelsea, all right. I know we beat them 3 times for the season already, which I talked about before. To beat them for the fourth time would have been something. I mean, sometimes you can say, well, boy, the odds might be against you, knowing that you done win 3 already. But I think I was really looking to play Arsenal in the final and beating up Arsenal. But as you said too, and even with Ollie's selection, I think Ollie really had an eye on the West Ham game. I think with the squad selection, I really don't think he went all out. He went all out that hey, we want this. So I think he went if we get it, we get it. But I'm gonna try to rotate. I'll try to give him another rest and hopefully come out. If the game's still close, and give it a run for the last 30 minutes. But that didn't work out.
Yeah, yeah. Um, as you say, the team selection indicated where our priorities were. When you're resting the likes of Pogba, you're resting like some Martial, you change your tactic. It really showed that yes, he would have wanted to win the FA Cup, no doubt about that. We want to place our grapes here. We wanted to win it, but you can see where the priorities lie. And when you consider the time and space between the games, it would have been a little too risky to go again full strength.
Yeah,
And then had to go again full strength against a West Ham team that would have been well rested, and Nico.
yeah,
And
yeah.
not only well
Because
rested, they're in proper form too.
yeah, they're one of the form teams. And again, the game more or less played or started at a disadvantage for us, right? Because the amount of days that 2 days extra is a lot,
That's
especially the amount
plenty.
of games, especially with the amount of games that is being played in a short period of time. The extra 2 days is a lot,
That's
and
plenty.
and
Plenty.
you saw it even with the regulars. It had some players who came in that would have struggled. The likes of James, the likes of Fred, even by we know they would have been a bit rusty. But even the regulars, you saw where they would where they was lacking that little extra sharpness. So we started at disadvantage. Chelsea took advantage of it, and yeah, and so it be.
All right. So Rudy on the inside. Good night, Rudy. Thanks for joining. He say, I'm just gonna say it. Do you guys think it's time to promote Dean Henderson as first keeper, or at least to challenge De Gea? He hasn't really been the same since that 2018 World Cup. All right, we will get to that. Unless Nico, you want to challenge it one time. What you say? You going to it one time?
Um, yeah, I feel we could. I feel we could.
Oh, go ahead
To
now.
me, he should be in the preseason squad, and he should be given a chance to challenge. And if it is that maybe during the preseason he doesn't show that form or that capability to challenge, then I don't think it would benefit him to sit on the bench. But I think he should be given the opportunity to challenge him during preseason, and if he good enough, then he should deserve a chance.
My thing, boy, is I just always say that jersey, that Man United jersey, real heavy, boy. It is a responsibility, right? And the kind of mistakes that a keeper will make, nothing getting away from the media, nothing. And I telling you, I watch Sheffield United a lot, and I see Dean Henderson make some mistakes and concede some goals. But because he playing for Sheffield United, it's not gonna get publicized now, boy. I'm not saying that Henderson not good, but I also don't think he worth sitting on a bench for the here. Yes, we want the here to get our challenge. We want the here to get pushed because we see how the competition benefits the likes of Luke Shaw. But at the same time, the trade up, you go either be having your most expensive or your most your
Senior.
most paid player on the bench for Dean Henderson to play, or you gotta have your best upcoming talent on the bench when he could be getting experience elsewhere. So it's a real
But
for me. There's a
I think highest paid it really comes when you're talking about form.
no, but when you consider money that you're
That ain't
spending, you
matter.
can have a man sitting on the bench. It's better
We're
you sell him.
saying
I think cut your losses. Yeah, the cut
we're
your losses.
saying look where
What we
Sanchez is
do?
right now.
Well,
Sanchez is the
there's what I'm
highest paid
saying.
player.
There's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So it's either you decide here we're gonna cut your losses with the here because it's not making sense having a man on that kind of wages on your bench.
Yeah, but who gonna buy the hair, boy?
Well, this
Who
is
gonna
it.
afford the hair? Who gonna afford the hair? But if Henderson in the
Cut your
better
losses. That's
form,
what I'm saying.
if Henderson is the better form player, those are the price or your high paying at that time. So the form
Now
and
you gotta find
the
a way
benefit
to
of your
get you out of
team.
there. You gotta find a way to get the hair out of there. But I know already, I've been honest with you. When we were watching the game and he had made that mistake, I remember I tell you, I'm done with the hair. But as emotions talking, right? I mean, I know his mistakes costing me, and I can't tell you how disappointed I am, with him. But at the same time, I do agree with bringing in Henderson and the other juggle between two of them. And I've seen it working.
Now, me see nothing wrong with that. Honestly, I don't see that. As long as he good
Nah, I
enough,
ain't seen that work.
as long as he good enough, it didn't make no sense holding him back, right? And as you say, it could be a good way to ease the way structure within the club too, right? But I say as long as he's good enough, right? I think he deserves a chance.
All right. Dave Daniels for you, Nico.
Dave, take that and
I figure
take
we
that
are
card.
get.
Well, you want to see Dave?
I figure we.
No, let them enjoy the victory now. Like, we want to sound like sour grapes. Dave, it was a good
Yeah,
victory. On top form, only had extra days rest, so they took advantage of it. Good victory. Wish them luck in the final against Arsenal.
in the final.
In the final
Yeah.
against Arsenal.
Yeah. So Gregory on the inside, thanks for joining, bro. He said that game showed the lack of depth in our squad. We need depth. Boy, I telling you, Nico, no time when he relied on his bench did they really come through for us. Going back to the Norwich game, and all the times when he brought on these squad players, they didn't make a good show in themselves.
I think what happened too is that remember it had the break in between, right? The COVID break. And then
Yeah.
remember we was more or less playing with one team. Right? So some of those guys who didn't play for that 3 months, however the league was out for, right, haven't really gotten a chance to get back any kind of form now. Because you see a lot of players haven't get back that rhythm. Fred not looking like how we used to look. McTominay not looking like how we used to look. James, well, you know what I mean? So I think the COVID and then how we started back with playing the same team, haven't benefited some of the French players more or less.
Yeah. Gregory, and I think this one is for Dave. He's saying, so so with the three L's you all took from us, stop talking crap. Because I mean, how much time we beat Chelsea this season?
3 times, right?
Yeah.
But they're gonna say this one is the one that counts. The opportunity to go to a final and whatever.
All right, PSG could afford him, but we should just bench him. That's the hair you're talking about.
Yeah.
He also saying Henderson should come in just to give him some competition. But you see, that's the problem I having with bringing in Henderson to sit on the bench because let me say, Nico, the hair
Yeah.
up game. He has to go benefit the
Right.
team, but what happened to Henderson? He go stunt the progress. You know?
Nah, well, nah. It's a Manchester United is a big team, you know? And a big teams always have good players on the bench, you know?
Yeah, but I looking at the future and
Right?
keepers. Watch me, outfield players and keepers different. A keeper will sit on the bench and they play a game for the entire season.
Nah,
Our
it's a
outfield
plenty
players,
games
they
he
could
go
take
play.
them.
He go play.
Outfield players different
Yeah.
from goalkeepers when coming to bench. So I think if you bring it, because look at Romero, how many games Romero played for this whole season? What 5, 6 games? I could count on one hand.
Nah, give the man some time now. As I was telling you, the Spanish keepers after 30 years decline. Right? After 30 years, there's a fall off. Right? So, but they bring him in now.
One
Bring
more,
in
one more,
Henderson now.
one more for the banter. We gain
Yeah.
Dave one more. Nico, this one is for you. He's saying now it's elections, Nico. Across the floor, it's a plenty Chelsea jersey.
You never see me in that blue boy. You never see me in that Chelsea blue boy. You're mad.
So
Yeah.
yes. Anyway. Um, just remember Fergie did it with the hair in his first season when Lindegaard was still there. Remind me, Gregory, what does Fergie do? I don't know if you know, Nico. What does Fergie do?
I think Lindegaard played some games in front of the air when I think the air was struggling with the air balls and you know what I mean. I think Lindegaard got opportunity and then the air ended up improving and taking back the at least
Yeah, but
number one.
I think that kind of different. If that's the scenario you're talking about, Gregory, I think that's kind of different. Because remember, David, he had just come into Spain and he was now adjusting to the league and the physicality and the demands of a goalkeeper in the Premiership. So him dropping to the bench for Lingard was just a matter of phasing him in, as opposed to Fergie opting for Lingard over De Gea because he wasn't on form.
But
You
I
know?
guess it's not only about. I think the bottom line is struggling now.
Yeah, but he now
Bottom
came into the league, Nico. He had now
regardless,
come into the league.
it matter if it's now or if it's 10 years on the road.
Fergie had known.
Struggling is struggling.
No. Fergie
If you're
had known.
struggling and you need a little time out of the first team, take some time out of the first team, maybe psychologically develop or improve, get back some confidence and then come back. So I think it's just the basis of struggling.
Right, but that's not the basis we're talking about now, because I'm talking about if you were to bring in Dean Henderson now, Henderson is the one for the future, right? And you have the hair there and they're pushing each other. One go suffer, right? Now let's just say,
But what wrong? I don't see nothing wrong with that.
what I am saying, Nico, here
Uh-huh.
was showing boy. We want Henderson to be the one for the future. We want him to get as much experience under the pressure as possible.
Right.
At the moment you have a world class, I put it in parentheses, at the moment you have a world class goalkeeper like De Gea, if Dean Henderson was to come in and De Gea, we can say De Gea show off this little patch, then you will suffer Henderson on the bench. You need Henderson to be playing.
But for one season, for one, and if it is we send him out on loan again after, we could do that. I miss nothing wrong with that. Let the hair watch on that bench in the corner here and see the Henderson there for a whole season.
I think where De Gea is right now,
he know Romero there, and he know Romero have no chance to make that team in front of him. Let me get somebody there who will look in the corner here that hey, this man can take my pick and they will see game up. And that's what we want.
Why I say Nico is if I bring in Henderson, I bring in Henderson to be my number one. Right? And I'm not gonna put
that competition.
I'm not gonna put the hair on my bench and be paying he $400,000 a week. That's not making no kind of sense.
It doesn't matter. Nah.
Why did the send Sanchez out on loan then?
No, because you would not play at all. Right?
But
my point is not only that, but he just wasn't fitting in terms of culture and everything else. Not only performance, but he just wasn't fitting in. He just started square peg in a wrong hole. Right? It come like this. So we saying because let me say Marshall informed that we shouldn't get a center forward. That's what you're telling me. Right? Because now if we
Nico, it's different
no,
with
it's
goalkeepers.
not different.
It's different with goalkeepers. Goalkeeper,
It's about
you can't play one goalkeeper today and the next goalkeeper tomorrow. That is not how it works. You could do that with outfield
It's
players.
not about that. It's not about that. It's getting players to push each other every single day. And when you have that, that is when you're getting the best out of a player. If you don't have anybody to push this person, then whoever gets the other take. And that is a winner right now. Well, I don't want to say that, but he have no competition, so you could say that, right? He can watch on the bench here and saying I can make 10 errors and Romero still not taking my pick. You know, compared to if I make two, 3 errors, most likely that man will get a game in front of me.
It comes down. That is not. I don't think that's the issue. It comes down to the manager because even the season when we won the Europa League under Mourinho said that Romero will play the game. So it doesn't necessarily mean the player, you know. It comes down to the manager. Because if all you want or tomorrow, all you could drop De Gea and play Romero.
Nah. It can't be like that, man. It had to be on merit.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, when you check how much every time Romero has been called upon, now Romero is not my cup of tea, right? But when Romero has been called upon, he has been doing okay enough that if De Gea dropping in form, you should feel comfortable saying Romero here what's going on. And this is what Mourinho did.
Nah, but I see Romero play some games and I wasn't impressed.
Let me get some comments.
Wasn't impressed.
Let me get some comments in, right? Gregory saying yes, but now they hear needs competition. Henderson coming in will push him to improve. All right. He's also saying that Oli himself said he prefers to phase out players slowly. Yeah, but see the thing about that, I've always say earlier, phasing out outfield players because of how that dynamic is a different dynamic for a goalkeeper. Simeon, welcome, man. He's saying, miss the game. Who to blame? De Gea, Maguire, Ole front office. Which all of the above.
Yeah, I guess so.
All of the above.
More than others, but I guess so.
Yeah. De Gea got too complacent. He's also saying Sanchez was disruptive because he was making more money than other players. He's also saying every position needs competition. I don't doubt in that, you know. He said Romero comfortable being second string. And Simon is saying ESPN everything except plus looking like De Gea is De Gea was responsible for the second goal that we considered, and that thing just changed the whole game. You know, so
I know. I mean, we don't want to blame De Gea alone, but the build up to I think Williams made a horrible decision for whatever he tried to do.
Yeah, but that shot on goal, Nico, that was a basic thing.
I agree.
And I think, you know, the second half had just started, and you were thinking that, you know, we would have settled ourselves and we would have tried to get back. And with one goal down, that game could have go all the way, you know.
I tell you, even when Chelsea scored, and I think I messaged you that I wasn't worried. I know we had goals in us. I wasn't worried at all. You know, I mean, that's that whole break with Bailly, and you know, I mean, I felt like kind of cool, and you know, there wasn't the loss of concentration a bit, and Chelsea scored. But I had no worries at all with us coming back into the game, especially knowing it had Pogba, it had Marshall, it had Greenwood on the bench to come onto the field, which would have reverted to our more or less first choice team. I wasn't worried at all. I think that era is what strained the life out of us.
Yeah. All right, so guys, so far we're going good. Let's get into the game, Nico. The formation and the team selection. You know, what was your thoughts on that?
I think we touched on it earlier. The mere fact that, in fact, I don't know why Oli would have choose to go that three in the back. I could understand in terms of he trying to compete against Chelsea formation. Right, a kind of Mourinho tactic, which personally I don't like. But I always knew that he maybe just went with that. Just to maybe give players rest, and then he reverted back to what we know later in the game when he likes Pogba, Marshall, and Greenwood. You know, could have come on. You know, so I think that didn't work because yes, and then with the extra rest, you saw where Chelsea was sharper. They knew what they were about. we was struggling in possession. We wasn't sure. Players wasn't making runs. You saw the defenders when they had the ball, asking players to make runs, asking, looking for space in the play. And, we were just all at sea now. So I think to start with, the formation didn't work for us. But again, because of the amount of games, I could see why Oliver wanted to try something different now. But I think that didn't work for us.
But I agree with you. But I don't know if at the back of Oli mind, because the 2 times before we had played Chelsea, that was the formation we used,
Okay.
and we won. We played 3 at the back, right? That is what the
You're right.
The last one was Shaw, Bailly, and Maguire.
You're right.
Right?
You're right.
So I could see why he tried it, and then too, it would have kind of cancel out Chelsea as well, because they played 3 at the back.
Yeah.
But as you noted as well, Chelsea would have had more time to work on the formation and the tactics surrounding our formation than us, because we had to go through recovery and then do tactical work, and then now go and try to use it on the field before coming into the game. So Chelsea really had a 48-hour advantage on us in terms of getting to prepare physically, psychologically, tactically. You know what I'm saying? So I could understand why Oli went using that formation, seeing that, he had to rotate, and then there's a formation that would have worked before against Chelsea. But then when they go into the actual game dynamics now, you have a team coming here more prepared than you. And then you have players like Fred and them who come in off the fringes, as you say. So they're still not really confident then on form. There are plenty of things working against the Man United team. So I could see what went wrong, I'm gonna get some comments on the inside here. Like Gregory saying, I just felt like Chelsea was being extremely physical. There were some challenges that should have been bookings. I was telling Nico that earlier. We go talk about that, Gregory. So thanks for bringing it up. Nicholas, welcome, man. The FA needs to investigate the referee. Thank you very much. He is the worst. Mike Dean is the worst. Hey, Callum. Oh God. What's it going on? Shite now, man. What are we venting? Nicholas, he underestimated Lampard and was fooled. Will he learn from this? We'll see. I don't think it's an underestimation, boy. I just think it's under preparation, boy. And it was little as he could do. I don't think Daniel James showed up, but he could have seen because he lack of games.
And Williams too.
Williams and all
underperformed.
Yeah, Fred, who again came in and underperformed.
You talk about James, I think that wasn't really
that was the three.
Bailly. For me, I don't know what going on with Bailly, boy. Like Kobo, boy, you gotta go and get a bush doctor, boy.
Oh God.
A proper African bush doctor, boy. And to me, I find he wasn't going bad enough.
He was doing good.
I don't know.
He had a little kind of crack moments in the back, that kind of back flicking in defense. They were Chelsea.
But it was good.
It worked good.
Back there.
It worked good.
Hey, nah, boy, I don't know what Black Cat he crossed over in England, boy. This man's sour, boy. I really want someone to take that chance on the boy, but the man I don't know, boy. Man, real heavy, boy.
But here, let me talk about because obviously I would want to think that when Bailly came off, that's kind of affected our defensive solidity, because I don't understand for the life of me. Now, follow me. When the game had started, yes, Chelsea had the upper hand in terms of possession and moving the ball around, but I didn't find that they were actually really threatening our goal apart from the long shots.
Right.
Going into the game, Maguire was doing a job on Giroud. But I don't know if Giroud realized that here was going on. For me to get anything, I had to move up from Maguire and go on Lingard.
Post up on Lindelof.
Sorry. And right, Nico, as soon as Maguire leave Giroud.
Yeah. That's why I give up on that a long time. And you know what hot in my boy? And I was really hoping we get Aki in a way. But now I hear that Man City almost to buy Aki. that one hot. That's why I was really hoping, and because I really hope we go for centre back.
We had to get centre back, Nico. We have to get centre back.
We cannot continue to rely on Lindelof, boy. That man too soft. I tell you, he's supposed to be a midfielder or something. He's not a central defender. Central defender is at least a physical presence. Let Giroud know you're there. Giroud just bully you and score. Oh gosh, man.
No, but Nico, it's the movement in the box. That man move before you. You supposed to know as a striker moving in the box. You can't let him have the upper hand on you.
But the man bully the man. The man that's like he just hold him and push him away. So
hey, sir, when I see that, I can't believe Lindelof let that man run past him. But and you know, up to that point, Maguire had Giroud in his pocket.
Yeah, telling you.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nicholas saying we definitely not ready. Oh, William, sorry, not ready and overhyped for me. We need Luke Shaw back. I think the fact that a lot of them French players now coming back and trying to get in the match rhythm, I think that is why. And then he was playing with a black eye. I don't know, but me and Una.
As Nicholas talk about that, the Luke Shaw, we're gonna Luke Shaw, but you feel out for the season.
Nah, I feel coming back. I feel you come back. I
really open to see him Wednesday, boy. I really open to see him, boy.
I feel he'll be there.
I worry going into that game.
Because outside of Luke Shaw right now, because Luke Shaw on 4.
Yeah, I kind of worry for Williams going into that game, boy. Antonio and them fellas go rough up, boy. Antonio and them fellas in form, and boy, them go eat that food, boy. Fight for you against them fellas. Yeah.
And you know you want to buy to deal with Antonio, eh?
They were rough up in the loft too. Oh God.
Simeon saying I want to blame people like Ole, but I didn't see the whole game. Also her defense player Messi. I can't blame Ole, man. I
can't blame Ole. Yes, we can say change up the formation and not stick with what was working for us recently, but as you said, Reams, you know what I mean? It worked. It worked in the past, so why not? You know, and it's still you had the opportunity to get players a rest because again, to me, the West Ham game is a bigger game than the Chelsea game. Honestly, to me, the West Ham game is a bigger game.
Yeah. Nicholas Hunt wants to know what's your honest opinion? How much is score supposed to be?
Well, let's take all the win and move on now. Eh? Oh gosh. Well, get 2 lucky goals. Eh? 2 lucky goals again.
2 mistakes. Unforced errors.
It's 3. It's 3.
Unforced errors, Nico. You gotta say
because
like
the first goal, the second goal, and the own goal. Right?
Yeah.
So you understand? All you score a good goal. Come on, man.
Unforced errors.
Yeah.
Simeon said, oh gosh, Lindelof. Guys, just talk about this. Yeah. Lindelof. We always talk about Lindelof every review.
Not good enough.
All right, so Callum, I really honestly don't care about the FA Cup. Yeah. We have to qualify for Europe, the Champions League. With that, we can attract the best players in the world. All I care about is our 2 finals in the league. Yes. Fully agree and endorse that, Callum.
Yeah.
And we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, I think
we want to cry and call sour grapes.
I think most of the diehard Manchester
United
at the end of the day, taking the Champions League and even the Europa League. Yeah, above that, yeah, for sure. Let Chelsea and them, you know, now look at win anyway, so let them, you know what I mean, enjoy themselves now, gosh. Them and Arsenal, you know. Them enjoy themselves now, man. You break up there?
Nicholas saying, and they paid you. All right, Nicole, let me talk about this referee situation. Now, the stats say that Chelsea made 21 tackles and no cards were distributed by the referee, by Mr. Mike Dean. Right? Pogba made 1 challenge where the player jumped over it. he made contact with the player, and Pogba got a yellow card. Now, Nico, I want to go back to the first incident where I think a card should have been distributed, and probably a free kick should have been given to Man United. The Martial challenge. Martial came from behind, put his body to nick the ball, win it, zoom out in mad self. As usual, clear Martial. And not a call, Nico, with that.
I agree. That should have been a foul.
What's a dumb kind of thing?
That
and
should
right
have been a foul. Yeah, that should have been a foul.
And not only that, right after that, Nico, Chelsea went on and scored.
Oh, it's right after that.
Yeah.
Okay. But that should have been a foul. But again, remember, that was a kind of long ball. Mike Dean was kind of behind the play too. So he definitely didn't see. I think the only person who could have really called a foul would have been the assistant referee. Because Mike Dean got caught and he would have been kind of directly behind the play. So he couldn't really actually see what took place there. And then they too was outside the area. So the winner go to VAR because it was outside the penalty area. The one it could have also been a red card. Right, but then the player didn't have control of the ball, so you can't even say it's a red card because Marshall didn't have control of the ball. So, that was definitely an unfortunate situation. But if anybody to call that foul, would have been the assistant referee, and I doubt Mike Dean could have really been 100% sure from where he was at that point in time. Dave, I hope you're reading.
All right, Nico. So, at the end of the day, it is what it is. The result stand, but I think we need to do better. We need to bounce back because we have West Ham a massive game on Wednesday. That is, a lot more important than what we see and what we went and faced on Sunday. So, but I want to just talk about one thing before we move on, Nico.
Right.
Do you think, right? Because leading up to the game, Lampard made a comment in the press conference that, Man United being favored with calls for the referee and so forth and so on. Right? And Oli now was asked to comment on Lampard's statement because Lampard made the statement, Mourinho made it. So I'm not going to tell myself that these referees sitting in a cocoon in space and then just come down for games and then go back.
Right.
They just have to open to social media and technology, so they hear and see everything that we see and hear. Right? So Lampard made his comments. Mourinho made his comment about Man being favored with the referees and with decisions and calls. Oli was asked to respond. The first thing Oli say is he don't think so, but he hopes and he don't think that the referees will be impacted on these comments. Do you think that the referees or Mike Dean was impacted on the comments made by these managers talking about Man United, and that would have influenced how he refereed the game?
And I can't judge that over one game. I think there is something to judge over games. One game you could just think it as maybe a one-off, as you say, 21-1. But how you can really judge that is over a series of games. So to me it's difficult to say it. As you say, the stats show something else. But I definitely can't judge it on one game.
All right. Well, let's see how it will go because I mean it was overly blatant yesterday, and but I guess we just had to take it on the chin and move on. Right? Simeon is saying, but seriously, that lineup told me we were focused on top 4. Them fellas need a scores or keen to kick people in the midfield when that happens. Boy, referees might give you yellow card and red card for that. While other teams getting away with it. Callum saying on a serious note though, the only selection issue I really had is I thought Ole should have played Romero. It's a lot of football being played at present day here. Could have been given a break. What do you think, Nico?
I agree with that 100%, Callum. To me, that do because if we could have rotate Pogba, Marshall, and Greenwood, right? Why Romero couldn't play now? Because Romero played in big games for us. He played the FA Cup, the Europa League final that we won, right? And he did well. I think even for the majority of the season, he have been doing well given the chances whenever he was given a chance. One or two errors. I can remember one of the games in the Europa League, where the player scored from way out. Some people said which goal was an error on him also. But I think overall he should have been given the chance. Irrespective of what, in hindsight you can say, well, boy, you should have played Romero, whatever the case is. But to me, I think Romero should have started. And even if he is going to play him in the Europa League, give him this game, at least to get a rhythm, to get a feel, you know, um, and that would have been the ideal scenario to play him because look, Chelsea played with Caballero, who is their second choice. So to me, the ideal opportunity to play Romero, I think Oli missed a trick there, and especially he could have even be saving the hair for the West Ham game because he had an excellent game against Crystal Palace. Confidence would have been high, right? To me, the West Ham game is a bigger game. Rest him for this game and you know what I mean. So he get an extra rest, confidence high, and he might have definitely been better for the West Ham game. But now going into the West Ham game, right? He might go into the West Ham game nervy because of the error he made yesterday. So I think the decision not to play Romero backfired in more ways than one.
I think that was spot on, Nico. But again, hindsight, because you're not thinking that your number one goalkeeper going to make those kind of mistakes. Even though yes, we know he made a lot of errors in the past, but in a semi final, especially the kind of mistakes he made, those things are elementary. Are things that you're supposed to do. You can The kind of mistakes they here make, you wasn't expecting that. And then too, he made the saves that he made. I find he play up them things for the cameras too. Just to try to make it look as though he making amends for the error. You know. Anyway, it is what it is. Hindsight is always golden. But I mean, if they had didn't make those mistakes, we would not be talking like this about Romero, De Gea,
And Henderson.
and Henderson. Yeah. Um, Simon is saying don't rest Greenwood. Who you say don't need rest?
I sure.
Um, at the end of the day, I can't question when Ollie dealing with Greenwood, how he treating with Greenwood. I think Ollie has been very, very good in terms of how he treated with Greenwood. So if he choose to rest Greenwood, I'm not gonna fight him on that one.
Yeah, we saving the big players, so the big
I
fishes. Chelsea's a small fish. You know what I mean? Yeah. Before we went in that game, when we say, well, easy food, but you know what I mean? Errors cost us. Easy food, Chelsea. Easy food.
easy food. We can have more time.
Yeah.
But it's a more time to eat that food.
Yeah.
All right, Nico. So we saw, over the weekend, when we're moving away from the FA Cup now, more important things. We saw that Mourinho did more for us as Tottenham manager than he did for us as a Manchester United manager, Nico. He his team, even though that game was boring as whatever I could use, whatever analogy I could use, the most important thing was Tottenham got the 3 points, and we're now even on points and goal difference with Leicester.
Yeah.
Or we have a game in hand, Nico.
Yeah.
You understand? So here are some of the scenarios going into this game tomorrow. We could afford to lose tomorrow, Nico, and still make it top 4. Now that's not the ideal I know we want. But because of the good work from Mourinho and his squad, we could afford to drop points tomorrow. We could afford to draw. And going to the last game, once we beat Leicester, we are
Or even draw with them.
You know, where's the thought of it? Or even draw,
Um,
yeah, draw.
yeah,
We could draw against
yeah,
West Ham, and yeah, go ahead.
yeah. And again, I think Oli really had his eye on the West Ham game, right? Because if let me say, even if we let me say we beat West Ham, let me say because we play them at home, right? Um we should be able to beat West Ham. You know what I mean? We are Manchester United. Yes, we know West Ham in a decent vein of form of recent. But we are also winning games, you know, and we are also winning games comfortably at home, right? And at most times by 3 goals minimum. So I think the West Ham game is an opportunity to, if we beat West Ham, let me say by 3 goals, right? Then going into the Leicester game, even if Leicester beat us, just saying, right? God forbid, right? But just saying, they have to beat us by at least 3 goals. And just like you're not seeing that happening. So our final, right? Our Champions League is more or less dependent on the West Ham game because we beat West Ham by 3 goals, right? Then Leicester has to beat us by 3 goals to move
No,
ahead of us.
two goals, Nico.
Yeah, remember right now we even.
Yeah, but they
But if we remember we even now, so let me say if we score 3 goals, right? So let me say if it's 62 goal difference right now, we go up to 65,
right.
and they would still be at 62.
So if they beat us by 2 goals, it's gonna be even. And
No, it will be even. That will go to 60. They will have 64,
64. Okay, okay,
and we will
okay.
have 65.
Right,
Right? So they would have to be that's by 3 goals. So let me say 65, 65, and then they would have gotten the
right,
advantage now. So
right,
they would
right,
have to beat us by 3 goals.
right,
So
right.
our
A
final
lot riding on that
on
West
West
Ham game.
Ham.
Yeah,
So our real final league game, you know what I mean? Yes, we'll go and put a professional performance against Leicester. But our main goal, and Ollie's main goal, is to destroy West Ham. Well, hopefully, you know, as long as we do that, then we inside.
yeah. And our next dynamic that's going to take place as well. If because this weekend, this Wednesday as well, Liverpool playing Chelsea,
Right,
right? Now this game is where Liverpool will be um given the trophy, presented the trophy. So
right.
I doubt Liverpool want to get our party spoiled with a loss. You
Especially after
understand?
losing against Arsenal the last game.
Exactly. So
So that will be
Chelsea,
back-to-back losses, which I
yeah,
don't want to go out like that.
and not to do that. Here the next spin. So if Chelsea come and lose against Liverpool, right?
Right?
We beat West Ham,
Yeah.
and we allow Liverpool, Leicester to beat us,
Leicester. Right.
and
Right?
Wolves drop points. I mean,
Yeah.
Chelsea drop points at Wolves. Then
And
there's Leicester
Wolves.
and United going through, you know.
Yeah, of course. Chelsea
So
can end up playing Europa League.
yeah, and
Yeah.
lifting a FA Cup trophy.
And
That is
lifting the FA Cup.
you
Yeah.
understand? So we know where we bread and butter lie. You know,
Right.
we know we want to play Champions League football. So when you look at some of the scenarios, that final they could come down and be something of that could be real serious. You know, where you
Yeah.
could say
Yeah.
Leicester and Man United make it, Chelsea fall out, Chelsea and
Yeah.
Man
Yeah.
United make it, Leicester City fall out, or Chelsea and
Yeah.
Leicester. You
Yeah.
know, so
Yeah.
it has
Yeah.
all to play for. But as you say, that West Ham game for us is very, very important.
Yeah, that's the final. That is the final there. You know, and
Yeah.
I think we're going out there very hungry, especially losing against Chelsea. I think you know what I mean we'll have the bit between our teeth for that West Ham game.
And
And
what
I
even
really not seeing the fellas disappointing us on Wednesday.
and what even giving us a kind of a safety net, a kind of, and I say a kind of a safety net is the fact that we, even if we lose against West Ham,
Hmm.
all we have to do is beat Leicester.
Right.
You know, now we ain't going to lose against West Ham, but just showing you we
Yeah.
still have a kind of a safety net now. You
Right.
know,
Right. Right.
um, Nicholas saying apparently Chelsea didn't have a match reaction for their fans. You know, to give their opinion, so we have them in here trying to troll us. Let's all laugh at Well said, Nicholas. Well said. Well said.
But
Um,
we still appreciate you coming on the inside.
yeah, Dave, fine. Thank you. Steve minutes saying, boy, Kane destroyed Leicester. Yeah. Apart from Kane goals, that game was real boring. Trust me.
Yeah.
Typical Jose Mourinho. Real, real ball fest. The competition set up real nice. So any prediction can be made now. The team that plays the better football will win. No, the team that get the results will win. Yeah, so the scenario is such that we need to turn up on Wednesday, and we hope that the boys rest and recover. We know the circumstances aren't ideal, in terms of recovery time and time to go on the pitch and work on tactical, situations to defeat West Ham. But I think, as you say, we had the quality,
Yeah.
sticking to our game plan and what we have been doing to get over the line. Yeah. Anybody to watch on that West Ham team, boy?
Antonio is the man, boy. That's the main man. I think, and then the physicality, especially against Lindelof, he gonna be post up against Lindelof regular. I think if you can hold him off, I think we shouldn't be. And the thing about West Ham games always be the difficult game. I think they beat us early in the season, right? They beat us when we played them first, and you see that alone give me comfort that they're gonna beat us. You know what I mean? To beat us on 2 games to the season, I ain't seen that. I ain't seen it at all. I ain't seen it can happen, but I ain't seen that. But I think Antonio is the biggest threat. They always give us a good fight. But for some reason, I don't think Moyes coming in Old Trafford and taking any points from us. I ain't seen that happening at all.
You have any concerns of because we seeing over the past couple games that we struggling a little bit to get out of that high press, but how you feel about that?
I kind of worried in terms of Williams. I feel for some reason that he's not in that rhythm. I really hope Luke Shaw come back. I think if Luke Shaw come back now, that the whole dynamic of the defense would change. We will see a bit more confidence playing out of the back. Because the last game we had for Sumensa, we struggled. Then we had Williams last game again, we struggled. But I think Luke Shaw a bit more confident. Or the whole defense look a lot more confident with Luke Shaw in the back and even playing out from the back. So I think that will be a big plus for us if we get Luke Shaw back. If we don't, I think we will struggle playing that ball out from behind.
Yeah, but I mean, I have confidence in the abilities of Pogba and Matic. But it's just a matter of just getting that starting strong now, because as we were talking about in the last review, I find with his labor in the build-up play now, we just take too long, we just allow teams to reorganize. And I think in game as well, we had to be willing and tactically flexible enough to switch it up, let the long ball play out wide, open them up, force them back a little bit, because once we have possession high up the field, I think we will be able to pass the ball and beat teams now. I'm not fearful of the low block anymore, because I think once the teams allow us that possession, we will be able to break them down. It's just coming out of that high press that I'm a little bit concerned about, because of how long we take and how slow we just take to transition the ball and to build the play now. But once we're able to deal with that and get out of that high press, I have no problem with our attackers doing the work. I think Marcel in fine form, Rashford, and Greenwood as well, same. And once Bruno Fernandes doing his bits, we know them fellas will get chances.
Yeah, I think right now we kind of more or less like wounded animals, So I think West Ham would definitely had a bear the threat of us coming at them. I definitely seen us without them putting on an excellent performance on Wednesday. I'm not seeing anything disappointing us at all.
Yeah. Nicholas is saying Maguire needs to be relieved of the armband and probably sit on the bench. There's no one to replace him this season, but just like James. Yeah, well, it's my thing, right? We have no defenders right now. Right now, our only defenders is Maguire and Lindelof, because
Yeah.
I don't really, as
But
we
you
were
going?
the protocols for the concussion and thing.
Yeah, he out for
I
the
don't
season.
I don't think we might see Bailly for 2 weeks again.
Yeah.
So while we agree on plenty things with Maguire, I think he right now he undroppable. So but Nico, Bissaka boy, what going on with Bissaka boy? He tired?
Yeah, he tired. I think but Sakai custom play on. Remember is yes, we can sell Palace. Right? When they play for Manchester United 60 something plus games a season, it's a totally different ball game. So I think
different kind of pressure.
I think it different. Even his body had to develop into this kind of pressure now. It's difficult. It's really difficult. So we shouldn't get on him too much. It's all this about his development also now. And understanding what it is to play for Man United and what you need to play for Man United now. So I think all this season would stand him in good feet for the rest of his career, at least at Manchester.
Yeah, and I guess we had to give him fellas time to develop because we had to
Yeah,
remember,
yeah, yeah,
you say, he was coming from Crystal Palace, Maguire was coming
yeah,
from Leicester, James was coming from where? Swansea.
yeah. So them fellas are accustomed playing, let me say, 38 games in the Premier League, right? And most likely they're playing so much because of injuries and whatever. And the
And
cup
then,
games, most of the time, they might get knocked out early in the cup games too, right?
yeah,
Europa League, you know what I mean? So to come and play 60 games when they're accustomed playing 30 games, that come like twice the amount of games or even more. You play
yeah,
for the season and you're accustomed playing, so it will take a toll.
yeah. Not only that, the 60 games they play, you're expected to win all, eh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can't put them in that poor performance. So it's difficult for them. So I don't want to be too harsh on the guys.
Yeah, guys, continue to like the video and stuff, right? Don't forget. Finally, Nico, it was announced today that Dortmund has signed Jude Bellingham. So the highly rated youngster from Birmingham City has chosen to go to Germany, to further his development. But I don't know why I just keep getting the feeling that we're gonna get Sancho, boy.
Well, time will tell. That's all I can say. That's nothing else.
Time will definitely tell. Time will definitely tell because I mean we see you. I see the writing on the wall, But I mean let it happen before we start to celebrate, So guys, Simeon asking for the lineups. I think we're going to go unchanged from that team that we know have been doing the best. Nico, you feel like you're gonna have any change from the
The
original?
only change I could see is if Shaw not fit enough, right? And maybe Williams. We know one Fosu-Mensah did a bit on Crystal Palace, but if there's anybody, I think Williams will get the nod if Shaw not able to recover in time.
Yeah. And I think Williams go get better with games, Nico. I really feel he'll get better.
Yeah.
He showed the quality before, so I think he'll do well, man. He'll do well. Anyway, guys, so that brings us to the end of our review of the Chelsea game. But on more important matters, looking forward to the next two cup finals that we have, which is the game against West Ham on Wednesday and then Leicester on Sunday. Nico, any final closing remarks? I see Nicholas saying I can see Fosso getting to play because he is defensive. Yeah, he's an option. He'll definitely be an option.
But and to be honest, he looked kind of real spritey as he come on the right yesterday. He didn't look too bad when he come on the right yesterday. He looked real positive going forward and stuff. Which is his natural position more or less.
Yeah. So any closing remarks, Nico, as we wrap up?
Yeah, I think that is it. I think we covered everything. And really looking forward to the game on Wednesday at 1:00 game on Wednesday. They're really looking forward to that.
Yeah. So guys, thanks again. We do appreciate all the comments, all the feedback. We even appreciate having Chelsea fans inside here trying to banter. When they could be playing Europa League next year. But anyway, let's talk about Man United. We know we have a big game on Wednesday, so we will be back here to review our victory against West Ham.
That's for sure.
So we hope that you will be in to share your views and it will be a positive one. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.